Let's focus on the tool.
Yeah, the tool, this is cool.
So this is a laser machine by X-Tool.
Okay.
We are not sponsored by anything. These are just some of the tools we have.
Well, we'll fix that. Well, I'll make you famous on my channel with 40 subscribers, right?
Well, so if somebody out there, owns a laser company, machine company, let us know. We do need more machines, honestly. I mean, these are very basic. We just got these, and we're already outgrowing these machines.
Maxed out.
Maxed out. So what this does is it engraves on almost all materials out there.
Okay.
There are a few materials it can't, but almost all the basic ones it can engrave. So cardboard, glass, metal. It can also cut materials too up to a certain thickness. So some of the prototyping can happen here. Like we need one little piece that needs to do this. Very simple.
Right.
We can trim the design and cut it apart and use it. A lot of our packaging happens here. So like for example, we send cables in this box. And we just put our logo on there.
Okay.
So it just engraves that logo on a cardboard box. If you come this way, and ignore my mess, this is not the cleanest.
No one's judging anybody here. We thank you for spending the time with us.
So this is X1C Carbon. It's a 3D printer. So you know how you said you missed? It took a lot of time trying to dial your printers in.
Right.
Wasted a lot of time.
Right.
That's something I didn't want to do.
Yep.
So I bought one of these, and one of the beauty of these is you press the button and it just prints.
Yes, I've heard great things about these. Our molder in Bradenton, Reimer bought one. He said it's best, whatever, $1,800 he ever spent.
Yeah, it's fairly affordable compared to what's out there.
Yeah.
And now I have two of them. That was underwater, under the Gulf of America now. In our house. So I'm trying to fix it. I don't know if it's fixable or not, but we got this, and we're probably gonna buy two more here soon. We also want a bigger size so we can print larger parts. So like a lot of the stuff we give out, it's all 3D printed. So like we give out these whistles.
Yep.
These are like safety whistles for your boat.
Yep.
We just give it out for free at boat shows, and customers who buy our camera.
Okay.
It's pretty loud. They're saying it's the loudest whistle in the world.
Oh, that's cool.
It was measured by a decibel meter, and I forgot it was like 100 something decibel.
I'm trying to get you got these very powerful lights, and I keep getting between you. It look like, hey, he's an angel, Glow behind your head.
Angel. What you don't know is what you don't know, right? So like when we did the testing, we did like salt spray testing. We did the testing for waterproofness. We did. I mean, we drove trucks on this camera. It's not that it's needed. So I'll show you. Follow me. There's a camera right here. We wanted to create something that's so strong. It's basically military spec. So this is an aluminum housing, but we drove a full-size pickup on it, and it didn't break the glass, it didn't break the housing, it did bend the bracket, but this is how strong these cameras are. In fact, some customers use them in factories, so these are explosion-proof housing. What that means is if something were to go kaboom in your factory, these cameras will be still intact and still run, assuming the cables are still good. Right. So extremely strong, like salt water, no problem. All right, so this is like our failure aisle. So like we have a lot more stuff in other boxes that stored somewhere else. But like something people don't realize is we had to go through hundreds of iterations to find what we have now.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like I would make a change in hardware or software, and I'll test it, either go take the boat out on the water, test it, come back, take my laptop with me. So I used to be on water every night for like 6 months, like 10 p.m. to like 3 a.m. on the water by myself, in the cold, in the rain, like some of the things that I wish I could record and show what it takes to create a product sometimes, because it's easy to see and say, hey, that's great, but like what it takes a whole year to bring this to life. You know this very well because you're doing it. So it's
I think I made 50 prototypes or more of my product, and it doesn't even have any electronics or anything, or no software or anything, right? It's just a piece of plastic.
Right. So we tried a lot of different housings, metal. Like you can see aluminum here, different types of aluminum, different types of stainless, different powder coating jobs, and this is not even electronic. There's a bag full of all the old things in the trash over there that needs to be thrown out.
Clean, air conditioned, cold water, cool sign, the BoatEye360 sign from the show. All right.
So we do a lot of, we used to do packaging on that side, but we already have no space over there, so we're doing packaging here. So all these boxes are supposed to go out today.
Great.
Maybe early tomorrow. So We assemble everything, pack it, and then we bring it to the box here, put it in the box, slap a label on it, goes to FedEx, UPS.
Yep.
We sell internationally too, so we have customers in Australia, France, Germany, Mexico, even Puerto Rico.
Fantastic.
Things like that. So all that happens here. I have a guy who helps me with all of that stuff now. I used to be all just me, but it got to a point where I used to sleep here. In fact, my blanket is still there, but I used to sleep here and just do, and it got to a point where I couldn't function. It was way too out of hand. So I had to get help. So I hired a kid. And
okay.
Help,
Well, that's business, man.
Yep. So this is a dark room, or dark box, I guess you call it. So we do all the testing for the camera in here.
Okay.
So what this does is we can darken the inside and introduce specific amount of light. Basically, we try to replicate moonlight and starlight, which is what our cameras work under when you're out at night. Okay. So this is more for testing, not growing any plants in here.
He's gonna open it up and he's gonna show us for the man. I think it's all starting to become legal now anyway.
I remember the second month my landlord, the guy who owns it.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing in here?
He's like, Drew, I can't let you be here. Yeah, I'm just like, why? He's like, I saw you growing something in the other side. You may be doing both things, and that's cool and all, but we can't have you do that. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me show you what's inside.
Yeah.
So you have
so you're accused of growing wacky weed.
And on the other side, we have some color charts. We do a lot of the color calibration for the sensors and whatnot.
Okay.
So all that testing happens here.
Okay.
We're actually comparing our competitors' product with ours. Make sure that we are the leading, best in the market, basically. So that's how we make sure our cameras are going to perform better than everything in the market. So as you can see, there's another camera down there that's not from us. So yeah, and then that's more of a photo booth. We take product pictures and stuff like that.
Okay.
And a lot of people think you need all these fancy photographers and videographers and studio. You don't. What you need is a good product, and a product that's gonna work, last, and it's affordable, great service. Everything else, yeah, sure, when you get big and you scale, then it makes sense to hire all those people.
Right.
But when you're small, you don't need it.
Right.
What you're doing, your phone has everything you need. So we take pictures in there, just with our cell phones, nothing special. Because I'd rather spend money on R&D that matters than having to buy an expensive camera or hire somebody who does.
Yeah, I think that's another thing we're talking about as you learn and grow through your business. You try stuff. I've made a lot of mistakes. I hired a photographer.
I
hired a photographer. Got professional images, and then it's like, oh, I changed the product. Now I'm not gonna hire him again. No, it's like, you know what? I'll just take these back on my lanai. I did it on my lanai, and I put had a white piece of cardboard behind it, and that was it. And that was had a lot of light, and turned out fine. And then you can just do even the filters and stuff on your phone. I was like, that looks good enough,
Yeah, I mean, the thing, when you grow and when you're scaling and you have more employees and whatnot, then yes, it would make sense to hire some of those services. Yeah. Because you don't have the time, right?
Yeah.
You can offload that to somebody else.
Right.
And to your marketing person or whatever, salesperson. And they can handle it and they can hire somebody. And it would make sense because your campaigns will be so large, you kind of need it to be that type of professional picture. Where we are right now, I mean, we just started, right? And we're just scaling now. Our customers care more about, does the camera work? Is it better than our competitors? Is it affordable? Is it going to last?
Is it waterproof?
We focus on those things more than a lot of the things that in your head you think is important, but it's really not important right now.
Right.
So all the pictures happen here. This is my desk. All my meetings, calls, all the stuff happens here. I do have, like I said earlier, I have an employee that kind of works there on that table. And then we have people remote. So my developers are remote. I have a person who helps me with the design of the CAD work. He's remote in Canada. So we work with a lot of contractors from overseas as well, and in US. Because my motto is hire the person who is best at whatever they do.
Right.
So I don't want to just, hold myself to just Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah.
I go out and find people all over the world that are passionate.
Right.
They love what they do, and then we hire them, and and that way because they already are happy doing what they do, so it's always fun to get them on board
right.
and work on this project. Because for me, this is a passion project. It's not for money or anything like that. This is something I made, and I realized that hey, I can sell this for a lot less price and help more people stay safe on the water. And that's always been my goal, to keep our customers safe. So I always find people who are motivated individuals that wants to work with me in this startup and grow with us basically. So that's how we get a lot of people.